Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video, I wanted to talk about natal moon square Uranus. So, I just did a video yesterday about some placements that I feel like are the most difficult placements to have in your natal chart. I put this one up there on that list, pretty high up on the list, because I do feel like this square in your natal chart, it is one of the most difficult ones to have, especially emotionally. It shows that there's been upsets and shocks and likely some form of childhood trauma that has taken place, or sometimes it could just show that there is something very unusual in the early home life environment, or that the mother was kind of unstable or emotional, or not really present in some way, at least emotionally. Usually, the child with Moon Square Uranus is going to feel like they can't connect to their mother emotionally, or she's not nurturing in, a lunar type way, right? So that's one manifestation of this, or a few childhood manifestations of this. So that's like kind of like the root of where this is coming from, right? And we could even go farther to say that in past lives there's been, many upsetting emotional things, and the person ends up just being very emotional. Even if sometimes they can feel like they're completely unemotional, it's still like they go through these waves of being intensely emotional about something, and then they feel nothing, or there's a very up and down quality to these people, and to also their lives. You wouldn't always talk about the moon and its aspects as showing things that are happening in the outer world, but with Moon Uranus, and specifically this square, it does sometimes show that actually outer situations in their life are shocking or upsetting, and maybe it's because of their inner energy field that is then attracting this kind of chaotic energy, right? And I think that really does have something to do with it, actually, is that their own field, their own like inner expectation, and also, sorry, my dog's barking. Also, just yeah, what they're used to is kind of like this sudden shocking upheavals all the time, right? So it becomes very normal to live in a constant state of chaos when you have the moon square Uranus. So it's a very unsettling energy when we have this square, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like it's so difficult. Is it's very difficult to gain peace and like stability in life with this square. And a lot of the times, the reason is actually you are your own worst enemy at creating peace and like solidness in life, because of your own emotional outbursts that will sometimes happen. Like, for example, maybe you get really involved with a certain friend group, and you're just loving it, and you're so passionate about these friends and this group that you're in or something, and then all of a sudden you feel like, nope, this isn't for me. Actually, I dislike all these people, and you just totally like distance yourself from the group, and that's it, and you're done with them. And like, I mean, that's just one example, but this is the kind of behavior that people with moon square Uranus can have, is where all of a sudden they're all into something, or maybe they love their job, they love their job so much, they love their boss, they love what they do for work, and then all of a sudden one day they just snap and they're like, that's it, I quit. Or they do something that causes them to get fired, they have some sort of emotional outburst, and in the moment everything feels so justified to them. It's so like, this is the only choice that they could ever make, is this decision to break all ties with this job, or with these people, or with this relationship, or like, it feels like the most like obvious decision they have to make. But in hindsight, looking back, they're very reactive emotionally. And this is one of the squares, or one of the aspects that shows you should not be impulsive ever. Okay? There are certain placements that show that you shouldn't be impulsive. Like, and some placements are very good at being impulsive, and it's like they're very decisive, and there's like ability there. But then some placements show that when you're being impulsive, you're being reactive and you're causing problems in your life. And this is one of those squares that, like, if you're feeling something strongly and you need to do it right now in this moment, and you should probably wait, and you should probably wait even a day, and you should go do something else to get your mind off things. Go have a cup of tea, go for a walk, go do a workout, go indulge in something that makes you feel good, do something pleasurable, before you make any snap decisions when you have this square, because those snap decisions can completely wreck your life in some cases. Now, this is worst case scenario. There's actually very good things about the square too, by the way. I'm starting off kind of negative. I don't want you guys to hate me, but like, this is a very difficult square, right? But there's actually, like, I love people with this square. There's many benefits to this square. Don't worry. There's always a good and a bad. But yeah, one thing, like one piece of advice is just never be impulsive. And it's sort of contradictory to like everything that you would ever expect to read, like from a spiritual perspective or a self-help perspective, but you actually want to like not trust your intuition sometimes when you have moon square Uranus. And I know that sounds really bad, but it's like you want to maybe consult an outside opinion before doing anything drastic in your life. And you do have flashes of intuition that are very accurate, and you can have really good intuition into like other people and into maybe even like collective events. Like, you could actually be pretty psychic and do really well doing, some type of intuitive work. But when it comes to yourself and your own choices in life, you want to think about things very calmly and cautiously when you have this square, because your intuition in the moment especially is not always going to be accurate, and it's creating this cycle of like the chaos, because like in one moment you want to just totally abandon this like project that you've been working on for like years, and then you just want to completely delete everything off your computer or burn your notebook that has all your writing in it. Do not do that. Wait it out, see how you feel. And that's, I mean, just one example, but like in those moments where you feel like you must do something immediately, you must not with this square. At least that's my advice to you if you have this, especially if you have this square in a very close orb. You want to really wait it out, and you want to practice meditation. And you might feel like you're maybe a bit ADHD or something, or maybe you are with this square. And so, meditation can feel just awful, but it's really one of the best things you could do is just do anything that you can to achieve calmness. And that's going to be harder for you than other people, but it's something you must do and you need to work on in order to, really gain the emotional fulfillment and stability that will help you in all areas of your life. So, yeah, and also, doing some inner work to kind of get to the root of like what the childhood trauma was. Like, what was the upsetting event in early childhood or even in past lives? Like, what was it? Get in there and really like do some energy work on that, and that will also help soothe this and help break you out of the pattern of constantly recreating the chaos. And then you can live a peaceful life. You'll never live a normal life though. I truly believe that people with moon square Uranus are here to be rebels. You're here, you kind of can be outcasts. You can be, so unique and so revolutionary that you don't really fit in to many crowds. And if you do fit in with people, they're like the oddballs, or like the nerds, or the weird freaks or whatever. Like, you definitely have a very eccentric energy, and that's okay, and that's perfect. And that's a part of the gifts of this square, is the inventiveness. and the creativity. The creativity that you can produce is going to be something that has not been done before. You're not emulating anybody. You're not going to have a teacher or really a mentor that could really help you uh, in with the square. And also, you probably don't want one because you don't really like to listen that much to other people in some cases with the square. There's strong ego energies actually with Uranus squares, which is very interesting because, as much as you want closeness with other people, you also don't really respond well to advice. And you like to go your own way. And a part of that is perfectly normal and natural and perfect because you are an inventor. You like there isn't going to be someone, like I said, there isn't going to be someone who you can emulate when you have this square. It's like pure innovation with moon squaring Uranus. And that's the gift. And then also the gift of this square is that you're very attractive to people because there's something like so eclectic and so like your energy is like buzzing, like it's like vibrating, like it's very high frequency energy. It's like we don't know, us other people in the world, we don't know what we're going to get from you. We don't know if we're going to get this or we're going to get this. So it's very exciting and it's very exhilarating, and people will be attracted to you. People will be attracted to your light and energy. They might not like living with you and all your ups and downs and outbursts, but you'll have no problem drawing people in and being very charismatic and being kind of like this open book, like where you don't really actually judge people. You don't really listen to them, but you definitely don't judge people. You're a very open energy field. So there people feel like they can share things with you or they can be real with you. They can be authentic with you because you exude authenticity and a kind of like not giving an F energy. You really exude that out of your aura and your field. So it makes people feel safe, especially the weird freaks, right? Like the people that are outcasted are going to come to you and feel like they can confide in you and they can be themselves with you. And that is a gift. So you open people up. You're an awakener. You're a light source on this planet. You're like an alien. You're like not even from here. You're like something from another realm that's come to bring a new energy to this planet. And that's, part of the reason why it hasn't been easy. And also, like, part of the reason why things have been upsetting for you emotionally is because you don't fit in and you're not meant to fit in. And if you try to make yourself fit in, you will create suffering. And, often the early family upbringing, like maybe part of the trauma is your family trying to put you in a box that you would never fit in. And, maybe you tried and that created more suffering. This lifetime is not going to be about fitting in a box, and especially not one that your family has laid out for you. You're going to have to break the ties, and, you don't have to do it in such an abrupt way that you probably do, but you will have to go your own way and follow your own heart and go, the route that is not laid out for you, right? And but you can also, I think with this square though, you want to really lean on like your Venus energy too, because you can be so abrupt about it. Like maybe you don't have to like cut everybody out of your life in your family or from your upbringing. Like maybe there's a way you can coexist with them while also honoring what your own unique soul frequency needs in this lifetime. You know what I mean? So all forms of like extremism, you don't have to be so extreme. There's a way like you can lean on other energies in your natal chart to kind of soothe this, right? So like I hope this is making some sense. It's kind of a contradiction because I am saying that you're different and you're here to bring some new energy into the world, but the energy of the square can do that in such an abrupt way that you end up not having any friends, or you end up not having the people that love you being there for you. Like they want to be there, but sometimes you can cut them out, right? So what I'm saying is that you can, when you allow yourself to actually be who you really are and your authentic frequency and do what you're really here to do, it actually, you can still let people in your life from your old life. You can still be be social and be like a part of this world even if you don't fully fit into this world. You can coexist with this square. And that's one of the lessons because it'll feel hard to do that. So it's not at all an easy square to deal with. You might even be labeled at times with this square as insane or like your emotional outbursts or your sudden shocking changes. Sometimes and if other moon squares are a part of this can show mental health problems. And it's probably rooted in everything that I've said. So that's one of the like lower manifestations or more difficult manifestations, is that mental health can be a real struggle with the square. But if you're working on it and if you're open to, some advice, or you're meditating daily, maybe multiple times a day, then you can really derive the benefits out of this square, which is that inventiveness, that excitement, that like, yeah, just pure light energy that you have can really come out with just a few tweaks, and a little bit of inner work and healing work on yourself and what has happened to you. And yeah, then you can really get the best out of this. So, men with this aspect could get a woman who ends up being their partner or their wife who has all of these qualities, right? So sometimes in a man's chart or in a male identifying person's chart, we're going to see this manifest as a projection, right? That's more likely with the opposition, but we could also see that with the square, that the partner is very Uranian. Women with this aspect could struggle with feeling maternal or nurturing. They might not want to have kids when we have this moon square Uranus aspect, actually. There could be a split off from a woman and her feminine energy when we see this square. And that can be brought back. That split can be healed. So anyways, yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this square if you have it in your natal chart. I hope that this video was helpful. I want to give you a hug through the screen. I love you guys. You guys are so much fun. So exciting to be around. And yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on this square too. Thanks for watching, you guys. Thank you for your requests, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.